The first really good almond croissant I ever had, I lived in San Francisco at the time, and there was a place called California Croissants. It's long gone now, but they would bake everything in. They wouldn't just pipe the marzipan in afterwards. So the pastry had almond going throughout the croissant, and that was good. That was one of my favorite things. My mom loved it. I would fly home to Hawaii sometimes and bring it back to my mom, and she was always waiting for those almond croissants. We're here in Moulin in San Clemente, California. It's a recently opened branch of a bakery that opened up in Newport Beach. They now have one in Dana Point. They have one here. They have a few different ones. They're all good. It's a legitimate French bakery. The owner's from France. You come here if you want really legitimate French pastries. They also make legitimate French omelets, crepes, croque monsieur. They make French sandwiches, jambon beurre, whatever you like, that type of thing. It's really good. The food here is delicious. The owner says you come here when you want to go to France, but you don't want to get on a flight for 11 hours. Or I guess you could say it's Paris without the jet lag. It's not really the same thing. I mean, you know, I miss the Eiffel Tower. I miss the banks of the Seine. I miss Notre Dame, even though it's partially burned down, unfortunately. But still, the food here is good. It's legitimate French food, and it is wonderful. So we're going to go have some breakfast. I think I'm more in the mood for pastries than anything else today, but you can get anything you want here. No, we'll take it on a plate and platter. And then also a trapezienne. You know, let's do a chocolate eclair. We're going to have a latte and a coffee. Yeah. And then an almond croissant.
For here to go.
For here. This place used to be Ellie's Table, but Moulin moved in when Ellie's Table moved out. Ellie's Table is now in San Juan Capistrano. Now, Moulin is probably one of the most legitimate French bakeries in Orange County. We ordered our latte for Young, and we got a chocolate to go with it. So, you know, and then if you take a look, all of their utensils here, they're potato ware, which means they're made out of potatoes. They're biodegradable. It's very French concept here. It's very good. So we got a bunch of pastries here, which I am going to eat with my potatoes. And we're going to start out with the chocolate eclair. They also had coffee eclairs. I love coffee eclairs, but the chocolate eclair, particularly the French style of chocolate eclair, is different from the American style in that the filling is usually chocolate and not cream. Okay, so if you take a look, you see it's got a chocolate cream in the center. It's not a custard, it's not a pastry cream, it's a chocolate. That's the difference between a French chocolate eclair and an American chocolate eclair. And I love this. I had this the first time I went to Paris. I tried it. It's much more decadent. Their coffee eclairs are really good here too, but I was in the mood for chocolate today. Sweet, creamy, the puff pastry is on point. The chocolate is almost a bittersweet style of chocolate. It's really good. That's one of my favorite eclairs in Orange County. I'm gonna have another bite of this before I move on to the rest. This is good. This is a nice rich coffee. I like their coffee here. Overall, it's a nice experience when you're looking for a good French bakery style experience. This next item you don't find at a lot of places. You do find at legitimate French bakeries, but it's a relatively rare pastry found here in the U.S. This is called a trapezienne. And what it is, it's a plain white cake filled with cream, dusted with powdered sugar. It's just very simple, it's rich, it's made to go with coffee. It comes from the area of Saint Tropez, which is why they call it a tropézienne. It's actually a nice dish, and their pastry creams here are very good, which is one of the reasons I got it. That's good. There's a little citrus flavor in the glaze. So you have pretty much a standard white cake, which is delicate, perfect for soaking up coffee, and it's got the citrus flavor in it. Delicious. Okay, this is a millefeuille, and mille means thousand. That's because there's supposedly 1,000 layers in this. We tend to call them Napoleons here in the U.S., and it's very good. Again, just one of these things when you're in the mood for a decadent French pastry, this is a good thing to try. Oh my goodness, it's falling all over the place. It's okay, I'm still going to have this. Again, the pastry cream is on point. The pastry here, it's got a little bit of a give to it. It's got multiple layers. It's got a nice pastry flavor. It's a good French pastry.
What's in the middle?
It's pastry cream, and it's got like a little bit of a citrus flavor to it, dusted with powdered sugar. It's a pretty basic cake. It's standard in the Saint Tropez area in France, and you don't find it much except in some really authentic French bakeries. So that's why I love that. So one of my favorite things here is an almond croissant. I love good almond croissants, and it's hard to find. Nowadays in the US, when they make almond croissants, it's usually a standard croissant and they put marzipan in it. I don't like that taste. So here they have a good one. I haven't tried it recently, so I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay, this is good. It's not like California croissants, but it's still a good almond croissant. It has the marzipan in the center. It's got a nice croissant dough. It's overall a nice croissant. It's not the best I've ever had. I told you about that.